Good morning, everyone. The spring equinox, and I am again going to start recording, and let's see how this goes. So, for those of you all who might not know me, my name is Chand. I am a lot of things, but mostly people know me as a board certified internal medicine physician who has lived experience with the chronic illness and recovery, largely from indigenous medical systems and practices and paradigms and stuff like that. For a long time, I have been dying to share what I feel can help a lot of people, at least to some degree. And so I'm going to try and do that again now. And there's a few things that I wanted to talk about. One of them being how important it is for us to understand that Western medicine itself, again, is largely new. It won't be able to capture the entire paradigm of the human experience. The other thing is Western medicine also came out of colonialism, a system meant for oppressing people. So, understanding the human experience, the validation, and really understanding the complexities of human physiology and planetary physiology, our ecosystems of which we are an integral part, is beyond the scope and, or actually, is not the intention of colonial paradigms. And Western medicine is one of them. That said, I am a Western medicine doctor myself, right? And so there is a contradiction, right? I make a living by what I say is pushing pills to pay the bills, right? Do I think that all tools of Western medicine are going to be not needed? Absolutely not. Modern problems need modern solutions. And a lot of the problems that Western medicine aims to solve are created by Western lifestyles or colonialism, we can say. So, anyways, long story short, we need it all, right? We need the diagnostic tools. We need the diagnostic paradigms. We need treatments. I know that because I work in the system. People will die without that. People will suffer tremendously without that. That said, it's important to understand that the Western medical system is collapsing. As capitalism is collapsing or imploding, so is the Western medical system. Just during the pandemic, you can see a large percentage of hospitals in rural America shut down. And again, I'm focusing my discussion largely in America because that's where I'm situated right now, but I'm born in India, grew up in India, and I'm going to talk a lot about India and the global south also, which is extremely important. It's important for us to get out of the bubble where we are. So the reality is that Western medicine is collapsing, right? It didn't have the intention, I believe, to truly help people, right? That wasn't the point, right? The point was to get better, get back to work, right? So here's a pill for your pain, get back to work. Here's a pill for this, get back to work. So anyways, it's not mature enough to understand what are complex human experiences and how to alleviate suffering and possibly cure, but most importantly, prevent illness. So what do we do? Like, honestly, at this point, I'm actively seeing the Western medical system crumble. People are going to be without doctors. They already are, right? Soon, people won't have access to pharmaceuticals. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do when you won't be able to get that test? What are we going to do? What are my patients going to do? And to be very honest, the system that I work in, every single day now, seeing people with chronic pain, it's extremely one of the most common things, right? Associated with a lot of other illnesses. And now, under Western medicine, all of these are separate, unique problems, right? Pain, it's only physical, so you take this medicine, that's it. It's not working, man. That's a reality. We've separated mental health and dental health. Everything is separate. That's not how life works, no matter how much we want to convince ourselves that's not how life works. So we will need holistic systems, right? We'll need to take the teachings and the resources from Western medicine, but really root ourselves in ancient medical systems. That foundational understanding is far superior, in my opinion. And again, there are problems there also by people who are propagating those systems, but the teachings still remain, the understanding still remains. Anyways, the point being, when the systems crumble, what are we going to do? What are people going to do? And guess what? That's what's. But a lot of people who are disillusioned by the medical system, the current Western medical system, are because it's not been able to help. That is something that providers like me, and if you're one of them, need to understand. And that's the reality. The system has not been helping a lot of. And so people are moving towards other things. And when people won't have access to the system, what are they going to do? They will go toward plant medicine, to ancient medicine, ancestral medicines. I'm going to pause here for a second and I'll share something that was shared by me by a domestic worker in India. She takes care of my grandmother. This is a young woman, very smart, who is originally from a middle-class family in Uttar Pradesh, and she's the caregiver for my grandmother. And she just said it pretty point blank that most people in, like in her class, for example, or in her village, they just don't have access to Western medicine doctors, allopathic doctors. First of all, in India, most people in India don't trust allopathic doctors. And most don't have access. And so people automatically use traditional medical systems. Now, is that perfect? No, because there aren't established traditional medical systems. So a lot of people get abused by, practitioners who might not be knowing what they're doing. But if they go to the Western medicine doctors, they're going to get like thousands of dollars of bills, which they really can't afford. And I promise you, the kind of shit that I've seen in India happening, it's out of whack. It's completely out of whack. Antibiotics being given for not, it's no reason. It's a scam all the way around. The point that I was trying to say was, if they're getting a cold or a cough, if they're having pains, they don't have access to pharmaceuticals or allopathic doctors or Western medical doctors. Most of India, which is one of the largest populations on earth, doesn't have access to colonial medical systems. I want you to let that sink in. How are people surviving? Well, they are surviving, right? Now, they might not be doing well, which has multiple factors in that. The absence of Western medical system is one aspect. It's largely because of colonialism, oppression, capitalism, fascism in India. Point being that there is a lot of that medicine happening all over the world. And my point is these people are forced to do this, right? A lot of people want to see a doctor, but they can't, so they have to use, the nuske or the old school healing methodologies that they might have learned that have been passed down, or from traditional healers that might be around. So you might see that happening in India, in America, in a few years too. And you see this trend of people, not the only one, a lot of practitioners moving out of Western medicine, moving into these systems. A lot of patients moving out, being like, man, you won't be able to help me. I don't know what to do. And a lot of people are finding healing in these systems. And that's reality is, and this has been the foundation of our wellness, curative and preventative, for most of humanity. See what I'm trying to say here? Like, yes, colonialism tries and convinces us about something, but there was life before colonialism, right? How did people survive without antibiotics? Now, I'm not saying don't take antibiotics, please, but like, we know what antibiotics do to your gut microbiome. Right? Anyways, the point being, it's more complex than assembly line medicine that is being practiced right now, or go and see a specialist for this thing and this thing. And please go and do all of that also. But our foundation needs to be more broad, more expansive, stronger. It needs to be a true foundation for our health and wellness. I have a feeling that the way as things get worse and worse with end-stage capitalism, these systems implode, a lot of people will be finding themselves gravitating towards indigenous medical systems, learning, reading, teaching, sharing. I think that transformation will need to happen, I believe, where we have this more holistic system for us to survive, for our suffering to end, or to decrease. Anyways, that was the rant for today. See you all later.